Welcome back, everybody. We continue our discussion with Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, the leader of the Enlightened Christian Church gathering on the Hawks confirmed investigation that he transports an estimated 15 million rand out of South Africa to his country of Malawi in his private jet. But first, before we continue that discussion, let's take a look at some of the tweets that have been coming through from our viewers watching this interview right now. Men's Dr. Fearless says, why do prophets sell salt, oil, t-shirts in churches? Isn't it wrong? Because Jesus chased people away who were selling stuff in his temple. And Men's Dr. Fearless again says, why do we have to pay to enter churches nowadays? Well, thank you so much for your tweets. I'm going to ask the Prophet to answer some of those questions.
Which one should I start with?
Okay, let's start with the fact that people pay to enter church. Why?
I don't think that's is a good thing to do so. You know, and I've never heard of such a thing, that people pay to enter church. I've never heard it such. So
there's no entrance fee at your church?
No. Okay. No, there's nothing like that. People get, the gospel for free. The gospel is for free.
And what about the sale of these so-called prophetic healing products, such as olive oil, such as holy water?
I normally say, I answer that question sometimes in a way that, you actually, as a journalist, may not understand it, but this is true to say, I think it's only black preachers who have got a problem to sell their products. You see, for example, the Bible, the King James Version, is owned, by the Queen of England. And nobody says anything to say, why does she sell the Bible? And that's the Bible, that's the gospel of Jesus Christ. And you have Bibles too, and we don't get those Bibles for free. We buy them. Even the Catholics, they sell their products, and nobody has a problem with it. But when a fellow African, a fellow South African, or a fellow person who is a black fellow, having a church and selling any product, you have got the whole world.
But the issue is the exorbitant fees that you charge for such products. For instance, a bottle of bottled water, 750 mils, can cost as much as 500 rand.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that is true.
How much do you sell your products then?
I don't even know, because I'm not in the department of sales. There's a special department for sales.
But as a leader, you should know the ongoings of your church.
I am so much busy, man. I have got a huge ministry. I've got so many people to take care of, to pray for, and I've got so much work to do on charity and other things. So I am not aware of how much to sell those products.
So shouldn't it be the public's right to know about the alleged illegal dealings that go on in your church?
Well, as far as I know, there's no illegal activity happening. I've been in this country for 4 years, and I've never been approached by any law enforcement to say you're doing anything illegal. I've never been, questioned. I've never been asked any question or approached or served any document or any warrant to say you're doing any illegal document. So, activity. Since I was born, since I came in South Africa, I have never had issues with the police or anything else. So I would say officially, we have nothing. I'm a law-abiding church leader as well as a businessman, and I'm so much willing to cooperate with the police or anyone else. But so far, we have no any communication from the police. As I said, we have approached police to say, we have heard that you are investigating me. So I want to know what type of investigation. And they said they are not aware of any investigation taking place. So
you pay people to give false testimonies, and you perform false miracles in your church. Is that correct?
Wow, I would say, number one, I've never performed any miracle in my life. So I don't think I would answer that question, because in my church, like your church, any other church, if a person is healed or delivered, it's not.
Hang on a second, you've never performed miracles in your life?
I've never. But Jesus
What
does.
about the testimonies that have been given by your congregants that's saying that I've been healed by Pastor Bushiri? So much happened in my life because of Pastor Bushiri?
I'm not the healer. Jesus is the healer. And I've never healed any person. I've never delivered any person. Jesus does. I will tell you, Jesus does. So if those miracles are fake, then let's say we are attacking what Jesus Christ does. And not in my church. Let's say in every church, Jesus Christ heals. And
what about the whistleblowers then? What do you say to those claims?
Well, when you're on top, you become a topic. I'll say that. So we have got people all the times who, if you've got a ball as a footballer, right, and you are in the ground and you are chasing the ball, the person with the ball on his feet is a person who is marked. So I would say these things won't stop. And you know actually what it means to have such a ministry where you've got over 100,000 congregants coming on every Sunday. You know, we wouldn't just stay like that. We would have people coming against us, people rising against us. I'm not the first one. Elijah had to run away to hide against, you know, Jezebel. And so many people in the Bible had some issues. Even Jesus was crucified by the church.
Right. You've got businesses in Malawi, is that correct?
Yes.
Your family is in Malawi, is that correct?
My family is in Malawi.
Your churches are in Malawi, is that correct?
Yeah, we're actually more bigger in Malawi than South Africa.
So how much money leaves South Africa to Malawi?
We have no any money living here. As I said before, to say, before I leave in this country to Malawi, we use the airports, you know. And as I said, to say the articles which claim to say every month I transfer 15 million. Oh my God, that's a lot of money.
A huge chunk of your income comes from South African businesses, is it not?
No. I've got a lot of businesses in my country. A lot of businesses in my country, in Malawi. So I wouldn't say that's true.
Do you pay tax in South Africa?
Yes, I actually have a letter from the SARS that I pay tax.
Does your church pay tax?
Our church, as I said, like just a few weeks ago, we have been actually exempted from taxes. I think some 2 weeks ago, yeah. So everything we do, I have got a legit ministry, my businesses, everything is in order. And we have never been at any day been questioned by any law enforcement of doing anything illegal.
Let's talk about that exemption from paying tax. Some other churches have been classified as PBOs, the public benefit organizations, as articulated in the income tax of 1962. But because your church has a separate wing of sales, selling products, the so-called faith healing products, so this then exempts you, or does not exempt your church from becoming a PBO?
I think that's a good question to ask me. The church is different. The sales department is also a different department. And I understand the sales department also pay tax on their own. It's completely different with the church. The church organization in my ministry is completely different. It has a board that manages everything else. You know, I'm a leader of so many branches, so many places, you know. So I am not interested in being busy on finances.
Well, I guess I should rephrase my question.
So I would say
the fact that you have a business wing within your church then does not make your church exempt from paying tax.
Pay taxes. It has got I think, a separate account, and they do things separately.
Do you have records to show?
Yeah, I think the department can show that.
Are you sure?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
You bought your daughter a R1 million car. Yet there are thousands of impoverished members of your church in South Africa. There are thousands of impoverished members of a church in Malawi. How do you justify that?
There's no justification in buying something for your child. I don't even think you can justify why you bought your child a toy or anything else.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
but I'm talking about the financial state of many of your congregants in South Africa. They're impoverished. They take loans to pay 5,000 rand to consult with you. They pay loans to come to your church. Some of them are even impoverished.
You are right.
But you are spending their money to buy R1 million.
No. Not their money. You actually asked me a good question. You said, as a businessman. So I love you for that, because you know me as also a businessman, apart from a man of God. You see, a biggest mistake we have today is, and this is a very big misconception which we have with men of God. As a man of God, I'm not just a man of God even in my house. In my house, I'm a father of kids. I'm a husband to somebody.
Okay.
So I'm a human being with a responsibility. I have got a responsibility to take care of.
Briefly, I'm afraid we don't have much time.
So,
but then under what circumstances do you request money from your church members?
Your pardon again?
Under what circumstances do you request your church members to pay money?
I don't get your question rightly.
Under what circumstances do you demand or request offering or tithes from your members of the congregation?
What circumstances? What does it mean? What's the meaning of the question?
Do you require your members of the congregation to pay tithes or to pay offering?
Of course.
And if so, under what circumstances?
I think it's a good question you've asked me. As I said, my church is so open. If any person wants to come and audit our finances, you'll be so shocked that I sponsor the ministry instead of the ministry sponsoring me. As I said before, that our books are open. Anytime you're actually welcome to come to my church and find out yourself. We will give you all the books and we will show you how our finances move, and everything is perfect in order. So the church has got its own wing, how it manages finances and everything else.
Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
No, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Many thanks to Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, the leader of the Enlightened Christian Gathering Church. It is 8 o'clock, time for the news.